Hello friends, we are back with a new video on organizational behavior and today we'll be doing perception. See, we have done a lot things on organizational behavior, like we did on the concept of behavior, we did on personality, motivation, leadership, conflict management and change management. Now we are covering perception. After that we'll be left with only few more things that can be covered in just one or two videos. Okay, and this today's concept is also very easy one. It's a very easy concept, and but it's very important when you write in answers. You can actually put that perceptual point of view in your answers when you talk about the steps that an OB manager should take, like he should bring about a change in the perception of people, or he should actually try to remove the perceptual distortions, etc. We'll be covering these things in this chapter. So let's go on to study perception. Okay, what is perception actually? Perception is actually attaching a meaning to person, event, or anything. What the person, event, or anything here means anything that is external to it, that is observed by us. That means an external event or activity or a person or anything else is observed by us, and then we give meaning to it on the basis of our own experiences, our knowledge, our thinking, our personality. We attach a meaning to it, and that is what is perception. That means how we perceive things that happen outside. So, perception is a process through which things observed externally or by senses are given meaning. Here, you mean externally or by senses means five senses, five sensory organs like eye, ear, nose, skin, etc. So, are given meaning in an organized manner. Okay. So, S.P. Robbins, he defined perception as a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. It is simply that you actually observe something in the environment, something outside you, and then you give a meaning to it, or you attach some meaning to it according to your own knowledge, experience, and personality. Okay. So this perception automatically depends on which factors? On the personality, means your own feelings, your own perceptive ideas, etc. And target. That means it also depends on the the person who is being perceived. So we'll see how it depends on that person. It also depends on the situation in which the things occur. For example, a news comes to you in a dark room, in a very devastating manner. If a news comes, it may be a good news also, but initially you will be afraid it, and then you may actually realize the actual meaning of the news. So it's like situation also have an impact on our perception, because it leads to creation of some kind of prejudices or some kind of biases in our mind. So we'll read about this in detail. So perception comes from a Latin word percipio, which means to feel, means how we feel about the particular thing. That is what is perception, how we take that particular thing that is happening in our life. The negative things were perceived so positively by great people that they go on to do different things. We know that we have learned about Pygmalion effect. What is Pygmalion effect? Pygmalion effect, that the performance of a person increases with the increase in expectation. If you expect much out of you, if you expect a lot out of you, if you have that kind of self efficacy and self belief, then obviously your performance will increase. We have also learned about self efficacy theory, we have learned about Pygmalion effect and all these things. I think you can actually connect these things now in a more comprehensive manner, and this is what you have to do in your exams. Okay, so perception is a process. Everything is a process, motivation was a process, leadership is a process. Nothing is an event that happens, outcome, or any outcome is maybe an event. But when we go on, we talk about the managerial processes or these kind of psychological processes. They actually a series of events, or they are in continuous form. It is not like it is not a one time happening. Okay, so perception is also an event. Perception is also a process, an intellectual process because it involves the use of brain, a subjective process because it changes from person to person, a psychological process because it also includes feelings, emotions, etc. Okay, fine. Now we talk about the process of perception, and this is very simple and important. Process of perception. See how perception happens. For any perception to happen, there has to be a thing or an object or a person or an event that has to be perceived. Obviously, if you want to smell something, there has to be some smell or some fragrance that you can smell. So in the same way, there has to be some environmental information, or there has to be some input which you can actually perceive. This input comes from the environment in the form of stimuli, and it actually leads to processing. And this processing involves two steps: one is selection, and another is interpretation. We have learned in the Myers and Briggs model, like Myers and Briggs type indicators. We learned that there were four personality traits were mentioned by him, like how we gather information, what information we gather from outside, how we analyze that information, how we decide. I hope you remember, or otherwise I'll tell you. It was like we are talking about the personality theories, and in that there was the type theories. In the type theories, we had Myers and Briggs type indicators, where we had four kind of traits, personality traits. And in that, it was whether you are extrovert or introvert, whether you look for sensory information, or whether you go for feeling and thinking, or finally how you decide, perceptive or judgmental. In the same way, whenever processing of any kind of intellectual processing goes in your mind, then first of all, what goes in your mind, that is selection. मतलब what you allow your mind to take, that is your selection process. Because it happens, it has been seen that people may not take the complete picture of a particular thing. They may focus on a particular thing, and because they tend to be selective in their perceptions, they tend to be selective in the absorbing the information, which actually is a perceptual distortion. We'll read about it later. So selection means what you take inside your brain. Interpretation, then how you analyze this thing. Selection, whether you look for the facts, your ideas, your model grounds, or what, the that is the selection. And interpretation, how you interpret it, by feeling or by thinking, by being judgmental or by being perceptive. And then behavior, that means your actions, maybe your feeling that comes to you, conclusive feeling that comes to you after the interpretation. You feel good after this, you feel bad, you feel exhausted, or you feel terrible. So that kind of feeling that you have. And then finally, the way you behave, how you eh, they bring out your feelings, that means how you react to it, your response, and the impact on it, matlab, impact of it on the environment, on the organization, etc. So it is a process. Any process involves three things you should remember. I think you know that any system or any process, when I talk about it, is input, processing, and output. So but the only thing differs is what is the input, what is the processing, and what is the output. So here input is the environmental stimuli, processing is selection plus interpretation, and output is behavior. Okay, fine. I hope you understood. So environment, this is input is absolutely clear. Selection or cognition, that means what you take. There are two things in this, that is figure ground principle and relevancy principle. This is important. Figure ground principle actually came in May 2013. What is figure ground principle? It is side or background information available with the perceived object. Actually, the background information which is available is usually given a secondary status, so it affects selection largely. That means how you perceive a picture. Do you take the whole look at the picture, or you just take up the main element or the enlarged object from the picture? So this is what figure ground principle. So do you take note of the side or the background information also? Take that example. There was a story in a book that a person, suppose you are studying, suppose you are there for parking your car, and you find a parking space, and you find that immediately a car comes in a rush, and the car occupies your parking space. You get really humiliated, you get really angry on the work of that particular driver. The driver comes out and he goes, and you infuriated by this act of his, is you find some other place, is taking much of your time, and then when you come out of the car, and you find that particular person standing in the medical counter, and you're thinking everything wrong about him, that how rude the person is, and he had taken so much of your time, like that. You reach to the person, and then the person takes his belongings from the particular place, and he leaves. And you ask them, you tell the medical or the chemist that this person had been very rude and all that. The chemist tell you that this is a person whose mother is in the hospital, and he was in the rush of medicines, because he could not, he actually went to take money from home so that he could buy medicines for his mom. So at that moment itself, when you realize the actual reason behind what he did, then your perception changes. Now you actually think that you had been thinking so wrong. The person was right. He was in such a hurry and haste in order to save his mother's life. So any inconvenience you that came to you for saving a person's life is negligible. So this way, his perception changed. So here, this figure ground principle come into picture because the secondary information or the background information, it was being overlooked. So this is actually what an OB manager has to do whenever he has to analyze any action done by his subordinate. He has to look for the background information, why the person took the decision that he took, why he behaves in the manner he behaves. Otherwise, his reaction or his response will be biased or it may be ineffective because it won't be able to get the required result. So I think this is very important principle. Then the relevancy, actually it is relevancy is the significance of object seen as per the needs or desire of the perceiver. We will see to it that it is one of the perceptive disorder also, because we have a selective perception that we take those things first which are relevant to us. Then, like for example, when we are reading the Hindu, then we'll find out we only read those articles which are relevant to us, which we find as relevant to us, and we skip other articles. So this is like relevancy. On the basis of relevancy, we perceive things. And this selection also includes rejection, because along when we are selecting something, we are also rejecting few other things. Okay, interpretation is a frame of reference, that how we actually interpret those things. And so, for example, there is a story in a book that in a village, in fact it's a, I think, mythological story. Like in a village there was a boy, and in that boy there lived a devil. And the devil was, maybe the name was Golith or something. The devil was very huge, and the villagers were really troubled by the devil. And there was a kid in the village, and people were saying, the kid asked the people that, why don't you hit that devil? And everybody was saying that he's too big to hit. Like, he's too big to hit, he's such a big giant one, so he's too big to hit. The child replies, he's not too big to hit, actually he's too big to miss. कहीं पे भी मारो उसको लगेगा वो इतना बड़ा है कि you just hit him anyway, he will actually be hit. So he's too big to miss. So this is actually interpretation, how he perceived, how he analyzed the same data in his mind. So this is what is interpretation. And the behavior. So your interpretation will lead to your behavior or your performance. And in fact, I must tell you that perception will also have an impact on your instrumentality and expectancy one. Yeah, it will have a little impact. I actually will try to remind you that we read something in the motivation, and there was Victor Vroom's theory of valence, expectancy, and instrumentality, where we read this instrumentality and expectancy. If you don't remember, go back to the videos or revise your concepts. Okay, now next. So perceptual determinants. How perception is determined? देखो, perception, you think that you know that three things are involved particularly in perception: the one who is perceiving, the one who is perceived, and the environment in which the perception takes place. So the factors will be, what will determine perception will be, all these three things will determine. How? When I talk about the perceiver, the most important person, because he himself is perceiving, his personality will have an impact. Like, if he has a positive personality, he will take things positively only. For example, there is also a story that two salesmen, they went abroad. When they went abroad, they actually went to see whether there is a demand for shoe or not in abroad, or in that particular place. Both of them came with different reports. Both the salesmen went to the same place, they analyzed the same data, but they came with different reports. How? One of the salesmen said that there is no market for shoes because nobody wears shoes there. And the second salesman, he said that there is a huge market of shoes because nobody wears shoes. अगर कोई शूज पहनता नहीं है तो यू विल इंट्रोड्यूस इट, एंड सो देयर इज नो competition to you, and there's a huge market, everybody is going to love it. So there were two different perceptions. One is actually reporting that no market, another is saying that there is a huge market on the same data in the same conditions. So perception actually is also mainly affected by the personality of the person, his own ideas, his own views, his own attitudes, his own traits. Okay. his needs also. People who is very hungry, you can't talk to that person about black money, corruption. You can't talk about high moral ideals about sacrifice, secularism, etc. The person who is hungry wants food, so he will only he will only be interested in the talks that actually provide him some food. So needs will have an impact. Experience, yes, people with a bad experience with government will never support government policies or action, will never be optimistic towards the government. A person who had a very good experience with the government, where maybe in some other the situations, or maybe with some other scheme or etc., will actually have a very optimistic attitude towards the government. The experience actually make a very 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 contributive role in building our perception, in building our cognitive ideas. Okay, I hope you understood. Factors in the perceived, matlab in the target, what factors help determine our perception, like intensity, that with which intensity this particular information, action or person arose. Like for example, the demonetization drive came with a huge intensity, like it was there everywhere in all the newspapers, all the media and everything. It was with huge intensity. The shock came with a huge intensity, so the it will be more noticed. Size, for example, you see a paper and on bold letters it's written impossible, so you will first see that impossible only. Maybe behind that maybe on the watermark there will be I am possible maybe written, but first of all your eyes will hit it impossible. So the size also matters. Those things which are bigger in size, they get actually seen first and perceived first. Frequency, those things which come very often, they actually come to our cognitive skills or get selected for cognition faster. This is very simple. Then comes contrast, such as bold words, different columns. Like obviously, that is why what we do, we try to distinguish certain important points in the exams by underlining them, by writing them in capital letters, so that there is a contrast and people find that contrasting thing being absorbed first. So I hope this is very simple. You can understand it. Now, factors in the environmental situations, like physical context, in which context the thing is saying, environment, the conditions, the room, the temperature, etc. Social context means in which, in what kind of group, in what kind of informal or formal group, society, etc. Organization set up in what kind of structure or relationship it has been said. So, environmental situation will also have an impact on perception. I hope you understood. Next is role of perception in organizational behavior. Why we study perception? Okay, we'll be dealing with it later. I'll now see what the perception does. So first of all, how what to pay attention. That means what do you pay attention? How the personality actually get constructed. What to pay attention means selection procedure. How to interpret, that is interpretation procedure. And then how to respond, that is your behavior. So this all will actually constitute your perception. Means what you are actually taking into your brain and how you are interpreting that particular thing, and then how you respond to that particular thing. Okay. There is a very famous quote that beauty lies in the beholder, and everyone says that खूबसूरती देखने वाले की आंखों में होती है. It's like thing is the same, and the same thing can be actually analyzed or viewed in different views. Who's on the basis of the person, it is subjective because it actually will have greater the dimensions. Like for example, when you are actually analyzing a thing, then not only your own personality is being demonstrated, but also the other person's view. Like how you view the other person, that means you have huge regards and you huge admiration for the person who is being perceived, then you will perceive all thing good about him. Okay, so this beauty lies in the beholder. So your personality traits, your attitudes, your feelings, your stereotypes, your biases, as your opinion regarding others will have an impact on your perception of the other person. Okay. Now this is very important. What are the distortions of perceptions? And this is what an OB manager actually attempts to remove. So the perceptual distortions, actually an OB manager should strive towards removing these perceptual distortions for all the functions, like for change management, for conflict management, etc. Projection is believing that other people are like you. That means you actually interpret things as if the thing has happened to you. So it may be biased, Yes, obviously two personalities are different. So projection is believing that other people are like you. Now, halo effect, we have learned about halo effect and horn effect. Halo effect is actually when one attribute of a person is used to develop an overall impression of the individual or situation. That means if a person is punctual to the office, then you think that the individual or the employee is efficient. So that means one virtue of the person is used to frame the whole personality of the individual. Same way, horn effect. In hello we use a good quality of the person. In horn we use a bad quality. Like for example, if a person is not spoken, like if the person is very harsh in speaking, then you may consider that he is disloyal also and he is irresponsible also. So this is like using one bad quality of his, you are actually framing the whole personality. Now, stereotyping means those particular frames which are age old, and actually something you attach to the whole society. For example, you may consider that all the women drivers are bad drivers, are not good. So that may be a stereotype. Like a person graduating from a very high institution or a very highly rated institution is actually efficient and responsible and have all the good qualities. So this is a stereotype because every individual is different, so it may not fit to all the individuals. You cannot generalize some specific things. So this is a stereotype. Next is first impression. Like you may get carried away by the first impression of a person has been so good and so great that you actually for the rest of your life you treat the person in the same manner. Selective perception is simply that we actually single out those aspects of a situation or a person that are consistent with one's needs or attitudes. For example, we only take things which we want to take. एक ये वो होते हैं ना, आप वही देखते हो जो आप देखना चाहते हो. That is selective perception. For example, if you want efficient car means that involves also less of fuel, means fuel efficient car. So you will focus more on mileage. You may ignore the initial cost or comfort etc, but you'll focus more on mileage only because you want a fuel efficient car. So you just low for your frame of reference is actually restricted to that particular thing. So contrast effect is simply we have learned about this, that different people react to different things and you try to generalize the same thing on others. For example, if you ask one question to one person and the answer you have, and you ask the same question to the other person and you'll compare those answers. That means this is what you are doing. You are seeing the difference in perception, different in answers of two or more people, and you're trying to generalize it. That means things done by one is being compared with the other person. Now, self-fulfilling prophecy, that means you said once, if you have said that there are more white cars, or you may like white cars, so the next time, every time on the road you will try to find out white cars, and you will only look for white cars, and hence you will start believing that, and you start in fact substantiating that you are right saying that there were more white cars on the road rather than black cars. So it is like this is a tendency to create or find in another situation or individual that which one expected to find. You are trying to actually prove your own point. So this is like self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, I hope you got these are some perceptual distortions. Next, there are some little few theories on perception, like attribution theory of perception. Attribution theories of perception is like you are defending something. It is simply that how you attribute to your perception. That means attribution is a concept in social psychology. This is how individual explain the causes of behavior. That means how you will explain your causes, the behavior that you did, your response. Like Sonia's car got punctured. Mother, her car's tire got punctured. Then in that case, she may aim the road for it. That road has a hole in order to save herself from the humiliation or embarrassment that she did something wrong. So whenever you do something wrong, you try to find some external factor being responsible to it. So you try to attribute that particular wrongdoing to some external factor. But the problem here is that when you do something wrong, then you attribute it to some external thing, and but the other person, if he does something wrong, then you say that he is wrong. Means at that time you try to find the internal causes. His personality is being attributed for the wrong thing that he has done. So this is the attribution theory of perception. Next come perceptual defense. Then how attribution theory was defense for the behavior, and perceptual defense is what the defense for the perception, means how are you trying to defend the way you perceive things. Like individual is likely to put a defense when confronted with say some conflicting or unacceptable or threatening stimuli. So for example, see, if HR manager says that they will only hire people who are creative or innovative, because they will try to defend this their perception, because they think that creative innovative people or people having good argumentation skill, they are more efficient with the organization. Then they will try to defend this, they will have their own logics to defend this. Foreman has a perception that only responsible worker, a loyal worker, the person who is obedient is good for the organization. So he will defend it in another way. So there will be a actually difference in the view between HR manager and the foreman. So what an OB manager he has to do, he has to actually try to synchronize the perceptions of two people, or in fact he has to try to build up a perceptual culture or culture of learning, that people are open minded, they are actually ready to change, they are actually ready to new or hear opinions from others, and their agreeableness, like they are not rigid to their own views and ideas, they are not or very hard to be convinced, they can be convinced with logics and rationality. So there has to be a culture of learning in the organization. People has to believe that there is always a better way of doing things, so you are not the master of the wisdom, other people also have some kind of wisdom, so you should actually lend your ears to others also. So this kind of culture an hobby manager has to build in order to remove these perceptual differences between people. They have different perceptual defenses, and they have some perceptual distortions also. So how do we remove this kind of distortions, etc.? So see, how you can remove these kind of distortions. So there has to be a healthy communication, like you have to make the information flow healthy. Then there has to be healthy communication, you have to get a culture of learning, that everybody here there's a culture of learning. You have to actually encourage conflict also. With the encouragement of conflict, there is no group think ink, and there are more discussions and debate, by which a person's perception get widened and broadened, and his distortions are being removed, his stereotypes is being removed. So conflicts will be encouraged, that means debate and discussions should be encouraged, is there will be healthy communication flow, and the you have to actually take care of the informal groups. That means there has to be responsible informal groups. Informal groups should actually act like a lamination over the formal groups, who's not making the formal setup opaque. And so these things have to be taken care of in order to remove the perceptual distortions. Especially सबसे important is the information. They should be provided more and more information, so that you can remove the problems of filtering, second guessing, and maybe some kind of rumors, etc. Every information should be available to each and every employee. Okay. Now there are some few more things. Perceptual set beliefs about the target based on information about the target or the previous experience. It means people have certain perceptual set for some people. Like if Modi ji comes up with something, then there is a different perceptual set in different people. They may actually perceive it differently. Whatever the particular thing he comes up, the moment you come to know that it's being done by Modi, by the PM Modi, then you will have a different kind of perception towards it, because you have a perceptual set about the person on the basis of information you had about the target as well as your own experiences. Now, significance of perception. Why OB manager is so much concerned about perception, particularly why are we studying this chapter in OB? Because it actually determines the basis of life position. It actually tells us about the personality of a person. That means whether he is I am okay or you are not okay wala, or he is I am okay, you are okay, I am not okay, you are okay. If suppose we learn about these life positions in organizational theory, or maybe in the coming chapters, it is actually like that you have a position, life position, that I am all good, I do not have any problem, the other person is having the problem. Or you may have the position like I am good and the other person is also good. Or you may have the position like I am weak, I do not have that much of caliber, but the other person is very strong and very intelligent. So this kind of life position, the best life position, I know you understand, it is I am okay and you are also okay. That means win-win type. And style of leadership, it will also have an impact on style of leadership. On the basis of perception that people have, you can determine your own style of leadership, like whether it should be task oriented or it should be employee oriented. You'll be better able to predict the employee behavior. And what are we doing in the organizational behavior? UPC, that is understanding, predicting and controlling the human behavior. So this helps in predicting the human behavior. Now Hersey and Blanchard has said that power is not based upon its reality, that means the authority, the actual authority that you have, but rather the perception of power by the follower, how the follower perceive you. If they think that you are powerful, then you are powerful. And if they think that despite having all the authority and everything, you are not powerful, then you actually are not powerful, because you cannot actually influence their behavior. Now, appropriate HRM, human resource management, will be better if you understand the perception of the OB managers. That means which things are perceived as most important by the employees. And on the basis of that, you can actually design your HRM policies. Motivation process, same thing. Motivation, it will have an impact on motivation. How you can develop a work perception, this is very important. This is actually what you can quote in your answers. You have to make your self perception right. That means a leader has to have a good perception. He has to have build a good perception about himself among his subordinates as well as followers. Like for example, when the economy was actually in recession, then we can see some top leaders of these some top companies, they were actually reducing their own remuneration. It might not have had a great impact on the cost of the particular company, but it actually had an impact on the morale of the employees, on their perception, because they also thought that yes, if our top CEO and they are also cutting on their wages, then we should not complain about our own on wage lack of wage hikes, that we are not getting wage hikes for such a long time, we should not complain. So you should make your own perception, your self perception right. Creating positive perception about yourself, same thing. Okay, sorry, making self perception right means self efficacy. It deals with how you what you think of yourself, that should be actually projected correctly towards everyone. Or it is like you should believe in yourself, you should have a great confidence in yourself, that is self efficacy theory. Creating positive perception, that I have explained. Healthy information flow, that also I have explained. And avoiding perceptual distortion, that also we have done. And knowing from others angles, yes, this is very important. That means you should be open minded, you should not think everything on your own point of view, you should also think from the other's point of view. You should step into the shoes of other person and get to know that how he thinks and how he takes the things. Then only you'll be able to come up with better motivation type techniques, and you can be a transformational leader in that case. And okay, I told knowing from the other's angle. You remember, perceptual distortion is projection. That means you think that everybody is like you. So this particular thing, when you start knowing from others angles, this will actually remove the perceptual distortion of projection. Okay, I hope you got this. This was a very simple one. We learned about the perception, what is perception, and what all we did. What is perception? What is the process of perception? And what is the role of perception in OB? What are the perceptual distortions? What is the attribution theory, perceptual defense? Then what is perceptual setup? And then significance. Then developing work perception. This is very important. You can use this in various answers, and you actually include the perceptual dimension in most of the answers of OB, so that your answer is actually graded, and you provided different. It is multidimensional. Okay, I hope you liked the video. I hope you understood the concept of perception, although it was a very simple one. Okay, let's see you on the other video. Okay, till then, bye and have a great day. Thank you.